Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever indeed you are lucky enough to be doing it to. I'm Bushka on Blitz. You probably know that I am a YouTubing machine of justice and sensation. In other words, I put out a lot of content about tanks. If you're interested in tanks or you just like first-person shooters with a little bit of strategy involved, well, you've come to the right place. This is the channel for it. Now, today, we're going to be rolling 3 games, and it's a little bit of tongue-in-cheek joy and justice. This is the last game I rolled out of my recent North American count-in stream. There's a lot of people in here that I see regularly in-game and on my Discord server, so it's a good bit of a giggle, and I wanted to make a point, so I drove the 183 on my last game in the stream, and you'll see what happens. Anyway, this is a funny old video because I've got 3 games today. I've got 1 with me, and then 2 where I'm playing with members of the clan that I'm currently running around in on the North American server. Promo, Even Stevens and Dietrich. Yeah, won't say you Dietrich's nickname, but there you go. This is Naval Frontier. Now, I just did a video called Hold My Beer Naval Frontier, and I seem to have some terrible luck on this map. I have some massive games where I do great damage and just don't really get across the line. And this is probably the last game you'll see me roll on channel in a 183. I've just had jack of it. I really have. It's such a ridiculously good tank. It's really, really strong. It needs something. And it just poops out damage games like no other tank I've ever driven. If you want 5k plus, come and grab this thing. You can see here, I am meandering around behind members of my team, doing my level best to intimidate and extricate them from all kinds of peril with what is ostensibly the biggest gun we've seen since they rolled that thing around on the back of a train in World War II. It is a ginormous and intimidating piece of machinery. It's called the Death Star with good reason. And if you've never driven it, I hope... Look, I've got to be honest, you should drive it at least once in your life. It's a ridiculous thing. It's a one of a kind and it's unique. And everyone should drive one at least once. You can see my mate, the Naked Yeti, there going down. He had a bit of a disappointing showing in this one, but don't we all at times? The obj268's gone up there. I'm not going to move too far afield. I'm looking for targets. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for people basically to fire HESH shells at. What are HESH shells? HESH shells are things that if you run the right equipment can do the same basic penetration as the standard shell on an E50M. But they do 1,300 damage instead of 350. That's a good thing. Watch this little bit of lag. If that had a hit, and it was going to hit, if not for that little kinky bit of rubber band lag thanks to the Indonesian dynamite fishermen, well, let's be honest, it's not the Indonesian dynamite fishermen, it's the New Zealanders. We know they're trying to sabotage us. Ever since we stole split ends and Crowded House, have been very, very upset with us, and they've taken to dynamite bombing our undersea cable at every opportunity. Shake my head and Mojo will tell you all about it. Now, I just want to explain this one more time. It's got the same pen as the standard shells of an E50M, and you've got 2 shell types here. You've got your standard AP shells, which do 910, 920 average, and then you've got these ones, the HESH shells, which do 1,300. So you've got to stop looking at them on this tank as standard and premium. It's actually the reverse. The standard shell you want to look at firing every single time is a premium HESH round. 242 millimeters of penetration, 1,300 average damage. The premium shell you're going to fire when you can't pen anyone is an AP round. 326 millimeters of penetration, 920 damage. And you've seen what I've done to those, that poor old 268 and that poor old Bat Chat. And this is the last game I'll play in this tank on channel, because honestly, there's only so many times I can show people, like this is the only game I played in this tank all day. Last 5 games in this tank, by the numbers, were 2,300, 2,600, 3,300, 5,500, 2,400, 6,238, which is what we scored in this game. It just takes huge steaming wads of damage and throws them in your back pocket. There you go. Made 7,000 credits. Because every HESH shell costs you about, I don't know, a small family home mortgage-sized down payment. That's what you get. 7 shots fired, 6 hits for 6,283 damage, 38 damage. Seems legit, seems great. And God knows what would have happened if I hadn't had that little bit of rubber banding there and had to put, a 900 damage shot into that M48 pattern. That could have been a monstrously large score. Anyway, onwards and upwards. What do you do when you can't carry? Well, you grab your mate Dietrich from Premo. Now, I joined Premo ostensibly I've got a lot of mates there that I actually met in Minsk and New York. I'd known Mike 8 now for a couple of offline tournaments. I've been talking and dealing with Scumbag Juju for a long time. First met him when his little girl Emerson was having a bit of a struggle. She's got a few problems, medical issues, and Nico works pretty hard to help the family out with that. So I met a couple of these guys, and then I got an invite from Juju to play in a tournament, which I'm going to stream this week, a bronze tier 8 tournament. And I'm a horrible tournament player. I am every bit the uber noob in the tournament sense. So I got an invite into Premo to play in that. What I didn't really think about at the time was it was giving me access to a whole bunch of players who can just, carry the pants off me, which is wonderful to, have someone there who's going to be able to do the business for you. And I get YOLO'd on a fair bit. You can see here comes the YOLO. Pretty savage, actually. There are an awful lot of tanks just going to come screaming at me. And that happens. You get that on the big jobs. You've got to have big, thick shoulders, and every once in a while, that's going to come a cropper, and you're not going to have a perfect day, but that's fair enough. What I like about this new pool of resources and tanking talent is that I have at least a fighting chance of getting through the day and getting carried. So let's see how our mate Dietrich goes here in the T-57 Heavy. Now, you can see things have really gone very, very poorly for the good guys. At the top, yours truly and the 62A have both been wrecked. Yeah, we got absolutely schnozwazzled, as they say in all the Roald Dahl books. And while I muck around looking here, Dietrich is still busily working away down the bottom, trying to save the world. Now, the 57 Heavy is a glorious tank. It is absolutely amazing. Wonderful vehicle. How about that bounce by the Bat Chat? Excellent work there. So Dietrich pumps another bunch of love in there. He's looking for a shot in here on the 62A, just trying to angle up to multiple targets at once, as you do when you're running out of friends, help, and all-round good humans. You can see there is a T110E3. He's using his prodigious armor profile to keep the northwestern corner of the map safe as houses. Dietrich with a glorious look at the side of a Yag Tiger, who has decided, for want of a better term, that it is worth exchanging all his hit points for the kill shot on that E75. It was possibly a dubious choice, but, you get that on the big jobs. The Battle Hardened, big bounce by the Deep. One of the things you're going to notice about the 57 Heavy, if you ever do drive it, is how bad it is in reverse. It is absolutely torturous trying to reverse things out. Bat Chat, Barjar. Yeah, I'm trying to tell him to cap A. So he does that. Caps A. Good man, good man. So it's now 3 on 5. Dietrich has to stand up here. The Bat Chat will not help. And at the present, the T110E3 is in severe, savage camping position. There's hit point distress going on down here for the Bat Chat. And I think that's hilarious because the IS-7 just got one bounce and then took 1,200 damage. And Dietrich says, this tank is love. I know, right? It's true. It is. 2 seconds between shell reloads. So you fire, 2 seconds. Fire, 2 seconds. Fire. That means 4 seconds for 1,200 damage. That is amazing and allows you to turn some pretty hair-raising situations around. The T110E3 is still being a huge danger to shipping out there on the open seas, and Dietrich's eyes are lighting up big as houses right now because you can see all around him are sub 400 hit point tanks. He's conserved his hit points. He can swap a shot for a tank all day long, and here you go. He's got 400 alpha shots. They are all kill shots for the Deet. He's capping B, so we're actually going to start going up on cap points soon. We are up on hit points. That is 100% guaranteed. And the Batchat is playing a brilliant knock. He's just loitering down there, showing a bit of leg, making people feel like they should probably be involved. Dietrich, meanwhile, is farming damage like an agribusiness multinational conglomerate. He is out there taking in big numbers and handing out whippings. He's got a full reload on the way, and once he does, there are 3 tanks there that combined have a total hit point pool that is equal to about half of his output in the next 3 shots, and he is grinning ear to ear as he rolls out to dispense a little bit of justice with the bad guys. The Batchat, RIP for you guys down. Who cares? The Deet has it. The T110E3 has sensed that now could be the time when he rolls forward and makes the big contribution. Too late. Dietrich has carried all before him. Manu, my dog, is very, very excited. I did 1,129. Dietrich, 6,819 damage. Manu is super excited, Dietrich. He thinks you are the dog's bollocks, for lack of a better term. So onwards and upwards. I had a run with Dietrich for a while. Then he bailed, and I started running around on my own. I had like 1 game on my own, and I got an invite from another Super Unicum from the promo team, Mr. Stevens. Now, this is a game where I contribute a little bit more, but not a whole lot more. And in fact, there are points in this game where I am stupefied as to how we're not dead, how I'm not dead. But I digress. Here we go. Steve-O's driving the big obj268. It's the only TD in Russia that you would drive if you had shoulders as big as him. The obj263 has an open cabin, so he can get his hair out blowing in the wind, but it's not quite wide enough for the massive shoulders that this kid has, and we're going to have a look at them now. He's also got a voice for radio. He's got the golden tonsils, aka JC Ware. Kicks off with 623 into the mouse. That mouse is basically made of stellinium. I don't know how they got a hold of it in Germany, but you're going to see here, I start going to put shots in. He's hit him twice now. I can't get the gun down, and I back it up because 62A, I don't want to get hit by the M48A1 pattern. There we go. I'll just track him, and, wow, didn't even go through the drive wheel. Well, the drive wheel's broken now. I'll just go through the drive wheel. Are you serious? It's side on now, surely. Okay. How tough is the mouse? How tough is that tank? This is with calibrated shells. Yeah, finally. Yeah, thank you very much. Settle down, everyone. Finally, I know, I hear. But look, we're looking pretty screwed here. I finally get a shot in that counts, and the E50 pushes up on me. Here's the M48. I decide it's time to bounce another shot. Woe betide me actually using heat to try and pen someone. I'm angling, I'm dangling. We actually don't get one in there. That's all the 268's damage. How about you use some heat, Bushka? You know, it's that stuff there to the left of APCR. Might help. It'd be good if you could give your mate here a hand. We're down. I bounced the kill shot in the pattern again. How about you just use some heat? I think I finally man up here and actually go to heat. Into the E50. I don't think the 268 has missed a shot yet. And he's not about to miss this one either. Even Stevens, bang. Even Steven, there's the M48. I just want to kill the M48. That's all I care about now. He has evaded me. They've got all 3 cap points. I've got no hit points left. They've got a 1 tank advantage. I've now got a lot less hit points than I had before. We are screwed. There is no way we win this. I've just got to kill this M48A1 pattern. Finally, hallelujah. We get the kill. Now, if I can just get rid of this 2-6... Oh, we got the iron 7. I couldn't pen the mouse for love nor money before. Can I get one in? No problems. Straight in. Heat through the cheek. Come on, Stephen. You got to get this. We got to clear him. Clear the big dog. Bang. Mr. Chavez, sit down. Whoo. I played absolutely abysmally at the start of that before I decided to use some heat. 2,000 damage, 7,063 damage from even Steven 98 there in the promo tilt. Another Unicum carrying me home, carry me home. What do you say? That's how you get carried, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of a lighter look at some of the giggles and spills that have been going on for me this week. There's a few reviews coming out as well. I'm actually going to do a review, another one on the 263 soon, because I know I've done a lot of videos on this, but I keep getting people in the comments section saying, could you please play the 263? Could you please play the 263? And I just want to basically get people to have an idea on how it goes. On Bushka on Blitz, love your work. Make sure you have a look, if you are a patron, on the patron page, because I'm posting these videos up at least a week before they pop. So you've got a chance to pick and choose the ones that you've got time to watch, and that will allow you to really make the most of the channel rather than trying to catch up with 4 or 5 at once as they drop. And lots of streams coming up as well. So until next time, look after yourselves and stay safe on the battlefield.